All right. Hello, my fellow crafters. I am going to be doing something a little bit different today. I ordered something out of China, something that I saw online, and I absolutely had to have it. And it is a Misti knockoff. Now, based on the photos, it looks amazing. And actually, one of the hinges is a little bit different. So I haven't opened it yet. So I wanted to kind of do the unboxing on camera and kind of just give you my thoughts on it. Now, the reason I'm doing this video and the reason why I wanted to see if I can get it out of the bag, the reason I wanted to see get this product is because I know there's a lot of people out there, and even you could say I was kind of one of those people as well, where people have a bit of an issue with the owner of Sweet Petunia and just refused to purchase a Misti. Now, I have to admit, some of the things I've read about the owner has left a bad taste in my mouth, but I did eventually break down and buy Misti because I had initially this one, but the hinge broke. So I've got the Misti 2.0. It's a great product. It really is. It works really well. It is even better than this Stamp Perfect. It is quite a bit better. But with that being said, I didn't actually have the original Misti. I've just got the 2.0. So I did wait quite a while before I purchased it. And more so out of necessity. And again, it is a good product. So just going to open this up. So you could see here, when I mentioned the photos did show a different hinge. So I don't know if maybe this is a new design from Sweet Petunia and China kind of just copied it. All right, so now that I have pulled it out of the packaging, I've set up the magnet that came with this product. Now, of course, compared to the original, it is quite a bit smaller. But the most important thing, and this is not going to go that way, is that it is the same height as the My Sweet Petunias magnets. Because most of the aftermarket magnets, and I have a couple of them, are actually too thick for the Misti. So I suspect they would probably be too thick for this as well. Now, I'm just going to do a quick comparison with the original Misti. Okay. Now, I've had this for a little bit. This is the 2.0. I've never owned the original, so the first version of this. Now, I purchased the Misti for $59.99. That was about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. I don't remember. The price on this now is $69.99, so it's gone up, and $10 is quite a bit. For this knockoff, of course, the magnet, for this knockoff, this cost me in US dollars. I'm going to talk about US dollars. I am Canadian. So this was $60 Canadian. In US dollars, this is $43 and change, and shipping was free. So that's almost a 50% drop. Now, huge price difference, but what's the difference between the products? So first thing you'll notice is the measurements. These measurements, because I use this like a book. I'm also left-handed, but I use this like a book. When you use it that way on the Misti, your measurements are upside down. I don't use the measurements, to be honest, often. I use the grid lines, but I don't really use the measurements too often. But this, they have it where you use it as a book. Again, I don't use the measurements. Another thing is these measurements, it looks like tape. Looks like these measurements were taped on. It is flat. Whereas the Misti, it looks like a piece of plastic and it looks like the measurements were engraved on it. Okay. So that is a bit of a difference. The tape seems pretty sturdy. Like I don't see any issues with it. Even if it does come off, I'm pretty crafty. Unintended, I could probably fix it up somehow because like I said, I don't really use the measurements too much. So another thing I noticed, and I think is probably the most obvious, is the hinge. This middle hinge here is obviously not the same as this hinge. So I'm not entirely sure what this is based off of. This came from China. China loves to create knockoffs of everything, you name it, especially in the craft world. Now, this is really stiff as well. I'm hoping it will loosen up a little bit. It's a little too stiff for my liking. I did add some silicone WD-40 to the hinges, but it hasn't really helped yet. So we'll see if that loosens up over time. I mean, it's not a game changer by any means. So this came with a foam pad. I mean, it fits just fine. Do have the Misti mouse pad with the threads. Now this I love. And it fits perfectly, which is excellent because I will be transferring this over. Now, one of the other differences between the Misti and the knockoff is the grid lines. So the grid lines you can see here, but I can't feel them. Now, I don't know if it's in this plastic or if it's painted on top. I really don't know. I'm losing magnets again. No. The grid lines on this, I don't feel them here, but I do feel the grid lines here. So there is a texture here, and you can tell that it's the grid lines. So another thing that's different between the knockoff and the Misti is, I think, what a lot of people have issues with, and that is the Bible verse. I'm not a fan of this. I don't agree that a Bible verse, a religious verse, should be put on a product that has nothing to do with religion. There's nothing wrong with the verse, doesn't offend me in any way. I have no problem with anyone's religion or anyone's beliefs. To be honest, I don't care. Believe what you want. That's the beauty of living in a free country. But again, I don't agree with that. And that's just my opinion. Everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's got a view on it. That's just mine. I bought this because it's a good product, because it works. If there was an alternative out there like this, I would have purchased this. Now, one of the other differences between these two products is who you purchase them from. There is a lot of stuff online about the owner of my sweet petunia. A lot of it is negative. Now, do I know the owner? I don't. But again, there's just a lot of negative opinions about, and a lot of situations and things that the owner of my sweet petunia has said that I don't agree with, and that kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Again, just my opinion. Everybody gets offended by something nowadays. That doesn't mean that everybody has to be with you because you were offended by something. I do know that there are a lot of people out there who will refuse to buy a Misti due to the owner, due to the Bible verse, and I think this would be a great alternative. Now, I'll do a quick stamp just to show you how well this works. Now, I will do it on this foam and this magnet that came with this platform. We'll just show you how well it can stamp. And I'm just going to use a big stamp with a lot of detail. I'm not going to use the giant one because it really is quite big, barely fits the paper. Oh, yeah, see, I really want that to loosen up. That's my only, so far, that's my only negative about this is the stiffness of that. So I'm hoping with some use that will loosen up. Oh, wow. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. That's a beautiful impression. And now I'm going to do a second impression just to make sure everything stays where it's supposed to stay. Perfect. Nothing wrong with that at all. Uniform stamped. And to be honest, while I'm doing this, I'm cleaning up this stamp, I actually can't tell that I'm not using the Misti. That's how equal this is. The only difference I'm feeling between this and the Misti right now is just the stiffness of this door. And that is something I will likely work to remedy, or at least I hope it remedies itself as it gets more usage. So now we'll put this in here. I'm just going to do another quick stamp. I'm going to do something a little bit smaller, like a sentiment. Maybe I'll do it on here. Maybe I'll use this. So again, I'm using the knockoff. Yeah. This is a new stamp, so it's really sticking to my fingers. So I'm using the knockoff again, but I'm going to be using the Misti mouse pad. All right, guys. Now, there you have it. If you are not a fan of the owner of the Misti and you're looking for something different, but prefer a platform that kind of is book-like, because nobody can make those anymore because she does sue them. Because again, the hinges are patented. So this is a great alternative. I'm actually going to be using this moving forward for lots of reasons. Because if this was available initially when I needed a new platform, this is what I would have purchased. I've heard some not great things about her even providing warranties to people's platforms or issues with hinges. So yeah, so that's it for me. I just wanted to show everyone, again, an alternative to the Misti. I will link the product in the description below if you wanted to take a closer look. Again, it is out of China. It only took 2 weeks to get here. So really quick shipping, free shipping, half the cost of the Misti, and in my opinion, just as good.